Hey everybody, it's Dominique from Neek Films, and today I'm sharing a really personal story about how I tore my ACL 3 weeks ago. I know that sounds really crazy. It's like, how did you do that? You're not an athlete. I'll go ahead and tell you, but first, go ahead and like and subscribe to my page to see more videos, and I'm going to be sharing my process going from here on out, so go ahead and subscribe and turn on the notification bell. A little backstory: for Valentine's Day, I bought my boyfriend and I rollerblades so that we can go to the rink and go down Riverside and stuff. So I had been doing that since February, and during this time where we have to do social distancing and everything like that and stay at home, I wanted to take this time to get good at rollerblading. I went to the park on actually Good Friday, and I was practicing some moves, and I can cross over my right leg over my left leg all day long. And so I was practicing on my kind of weak leg, and I don't even know exactly what happened, but it's like all of a sudden I heard a pop, a really loud pop. I had headphones in and I could hear it even over the music, and I was all of a sudden on the ground. I stayed down for about 15 minutes and I was alone, and I really thought I was fine. I thought I was gonna be okay. And I was like just making sure I could still move my leg, and so I like extended it. I brought it back to my chest, like it was fine. There was a little bit of pain, but I don't know, at that point I was like, okay, like I'm okay, like I can still move. So I got up and I started walking, and I was like, like I could just walk home, but I'm just gonna call my mom. And that was kind of a funny conversation, because I had to call my mom and tell her to come pick me up. I'm 28 years old, and she came to pick me up because I fell. That night I iced it and everything like that, and I really didn't think much of it. I told my dad what happened, and he was like, you heard a pop. That's usually not really a good sign. That's a sign that you usually tore a ligament. Football players, soccer players, basketball players, like they get ACL tears and stuff like that, but like I was literally rollerblading and like just literally just crossing my leg over. That's all I was doing. That's it. It was a weekend, so I couldn't go to any kind of doctor right away unless I was going to an emergency care. And honestly, my insurance is so crazy. I have like a crazy high deductible, so I would have to pay everything out of full pocket if I was going to the doctor, and especially going to an urgent care type of thing. I was like, forget about it. Let's figure this out Monday. We'll see where it is. So I couldn't really walk. I couldn't put any weight on it. It was crazy. Like I had to get a cane. I was hobbling around the house, like barely moving. My family was bringing me food. Like I had to go to my parents' house. I had to leave my house. I had to go to my parents' house so they could take care of me. I didn't know what to think. I really was just like, this is really weird. Like, I can't believe this is happening to me. I'm like almost 30 years old, and I can't believe this is happening. I ended up finding a doctor online that does, cash pay, and so you don't have to pay. It's a different rate than if you were to use insurance. So I was like, okay, this is a good option for me. So I went in and took some x-rays, and he kind of wiggled my knee and stuff and asked me, different questions. And, he said, well, I think that you tore your ACL. And I'm like, that really? And then he told me, most of the time, like, if you want to have an active life, then you're going to have to get surgery. And then, you won't be able to walk for, on it. You won't be able to do much for several months. And I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, what? Like, I have my own company. I have events that I have to shoot. I have weddings that I have planned. Like, I can't not walk. And then on top of that, like surgery, like, I already told you my insurance situation, so it was just super overwhelming at the time. On the way home, I was just thinking, like, I have a choice right now. I have a choice to like be overcome with panic and worry and, the fear of like not being able to walk if I don't even get surgery. It's just at a time where my company is about to go to the next level, and I'll be more reliant on just my company, and I won't have to be working at another job or anything like that. And it's like, what now? Thousands of dollars out of my pocket that were going to be invested back into my company and buying things and setting up for my future. And it's like, I could accept all those things, or I could actually get serious with God and really turn to him in this situation. And I know on my channel, I don't talk about this very much, but this is something that I can't not talk about, because this is just what happened. I'm telling you just what happened. I'm not trying to sway anybody of what they should believe. I'm just telling you this is what has happened, and I'm telling you what happened in the next couple weeks. For myself, I've experienced a crazy miraculous healing before, and it didn't make sense, and it was like really kind of strange, and it wasn't like, oh my gosh, woo, that's happened in my life before. So I've known supernatural healing before. So miraculous healing, whatever you want to call it. Basically, I decided that I don't have surgery as an option. I cannot, that's not an option for me. And not healing and not getting better and not being able to do the things that I need to do, or even have fun and play sports and do that stuff, that's not an option for me either. Like, that's absolutely not an option. My only option is to literally trust God and receive the healing that he already provided for me. That's what the Bible says, okay? That's just what it says. So day 4, after the accident, I decided I'm gonna trust God, and I'm believing that my knee's gonna be okay. And the doctor said, ACLs don't grow back. You can't grow an ACL back. Like, the ligaments tear like this, and then they shrink. So you're not supposed to have an ACL after it tears. Other ligaments in your legs and stuff, they tear like this, and then they grow back together. This is apparently not how the ACL works. So what I did, I literally just started moving my knee a little bit more every day, and just practicing, just getting that movement. And every day I would massage my leg, and I would just thank God. I would just thank Jesus for what he did for me. And because he already did it, he doesn't have to heal me now. Like, the Bible says that he has already completed it. So that's why we have to receive it as faith. So I was doing that every day, and I was praying over it. And I was also researching other people that this happened to, and that didn't have surgery, that have gone on to do amazing things physically, and not hindered by their knee, and their ACLs have grown back together. I researched all these different things. And one day I was listening to a sermon on healing, and it just really like pointed out all these things, these kind of like myths that we have in our mind of like why God heals or why he doesn't heal. It just made it so clear what the Bible actually says and what God actually says about healing. So once again, I'm just telling you what happened. I'm not like preaching at you. I'm literally just telling you what physically happened. I was listening to this healing message, and after the message, he said, stand up if you want healing. And then the video clipped off, so like it wasn't a prayer or anything. He just said stand up. In my mind, I was like, you don't need to stand up. He was talking to the people in the congregation. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stand up. And keep in mind that I have not been able to walk at this point. Like, I had been using a cane. I couldn't even use the cane correctly because I couldn't put my weight on my foot at all. Like, literally at all. Like, I was hobbling around. Like, it was horrible. Like, that was the most frustrating part, is not being able to move. I stood up, and I had my crutch with me at first, and I straightened out my leg all the way. And that was the first time I had been able to do that. And I heard of like a pop, and I was like, oh my gosh, that felt so good. Like, I've been waiting for it to do that. Then I just slowly started taking steps and just speaking, like, and just thanking God, just like thanking him for what he did for me, and thanking him for the life that he's given me, just thanking him in general, you know? And I just started walking around, and then I put my crutch down, and I started walking around the house, foot after foot, putting weight on my foot. Like, that's crazy. And I don't know if you know, but people who tear their ACLs, they cannot walk for at least a month. Some guy said he was using crutches for 2 or 3 months without surgery. Another guy said that he was in a wheelchair for 3 weeks. This is day 4, and I'm walking slowly, but I'm walking. And I just started tearing up because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm walking right now. Like, I'm walking. They said I couldn't do it. Like, they said I wasn't gonna be able to do anything. I'm walking right now, day 4. I continued as I was doing before, you know, stretching and stuff, and I was continuing with walking, and every day I was getting stronger and stronger. I was doing leg extensions and stuff like that, and all these, I was looking up rehab stuff for like post-surgery, but stuff that I could do now to strengthen my knee. And I wasn't gonna give up. Like, I still hadn't gotten an MRI yet, and I still didn't have a confirmation of what it was. So I really wanted to get that confirmation of what it actually was. I ended up booking an MRI, and I got the MRI, and I went to the doctor, and he read it, and he said, you have a complete tear of the ACL. And that felt like it could have been a moment of defeat for me, because I had been believing, I had been making this progress and all this stuff, and I have no other choice, and this is just what I'm gonna do. So every day I've been doing physical therapy, and I got vitamins, collagen, all this kind of stuff that helps with joints, and I changed the way I was eating. I just wanted to become the best version of myself that I could, and so that my knee could heal. And my doctor said, you could do some biking and stuff like that. It's been a week, and I've biked probably 6 days out of the 7 past days. And every day is getting stronger and stronger. And I have pictures of how I was able to bend my knee before. And, I've been trying to document my progress and stuff like that. So I'm literally on week 3, and I'm not limping anymore. I'm walking normal. I did 3 shoots this weekend, no problems whatsoever. I go downstairs a little slower right now, like I'm cautious. Like, I'm not just like, oh, I can do whatever I want. But what I'm doing is so much further than any other story I've ever heard. People are like, where's your brace? Oh, you tore your ACL? Oh, like a long time ago? Literally 3 weeks ago I tore it. They're like, how is that possible? And I believe that my knee is going to be completely healed. I really wanted to share my journey with you guys and share for anybody else who has torn their ACL. And I want to show you guys what I've been doing, what kind of therapy I've been doing, and the vitamins I've been taking, and the different massage techniques. I appreciate your guys' support, and everybody that has been a support for me already. Make sure to like, subscribe, and put that notification bell on. But thank you so much once again.